It is. Hello, hello. Welcome everybody that's joining. I can see Kuber. Welcome, welcome, friend. I'm so happy to see you. Welcome, welcome to Janet. Welcome to Arati. Welcome to Andrea. Welcome, Manera. Welcome. Okay, so I think, is there another Manera? I think there's another Manera here. Andrea Wood, welcome, welcome. Oh, it's so lovely to have all of you here. Kabir, I want to hear your voice. Hello, hello. I think, are you muted?
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Happy to see you.
So nice to be here.
Oh, I love you.
I love you too. Oh my goodness. I haven't seen Kabir since I was back in Vietnam. So it's such an honor to have him here. And for all of you who've been here last week and the week before, you would have seen his amazing breathwork session. So Kabir, I'm hoping you're doing a live session for us today.
That's the plan.
Oh, wonderful. So friends, today we have the wonderful Esther Francis with us today, and she has some roadworks happening. So because of that, we're going to let her, in a few minutes, we're just going to give a few more people time to join, but we're going to let her kind of bring us from our heads into our hearts with a song that she's wrote us. And actually, Esther, you sent me some words, didn't you?
Yes. Yeah. Want
Yes.
me to share them?
Yeah, could you put them in the chat if you'd like? Or I can copy and paste it and put it in the chat for you.
Yeah, because it's hard for me to do that from here.
Esther, can you share like your inspiration today for the music? And I know that you were sharing that you did a mantra for us as well.
Well, here's what happened. And I just, I want to show this. This is my blessing. It's like a blessing bowl. It's a gourd. And just thinking of all the names that are going to later be said, even though we're jumping into this part, quicker than we would, because 5 men are outside digging holes, and they were kind enough to not use the jackhammer for this portion. So, and blessing them. The context is I got this, I was going to do another song, and then I really clearly got the message because it came up when I wasn't even looking for it to share this "You Are the Light of the Stars," which came to me originally as a poem, as not as a poem, as a download. I call them cosmic downloads when I was in Maui, Hawaii in 1996. That was a long time ago. But today is going to be its debut as a song. It's never come forth in song form. Then I got the message, just like I did with Gather Your Courage, bringing in the Tara mantra, to bring in Om Mani Padme Hum, which is a universal mantra coming out of the tradition of Buddhism, very much for love and compassion. It's that all embracing love, beyond romance, family. It's the container of all in terms of love, and it's ancient and it's right here, and it just fits so well with the lineage of Siddhaveda. So that's here. And it's kind of a mixture of song chant. And I took from another song wanted to come in that I wrote called Relationship Rap. And that part, so here the chorus is love is who I am. Love is what I be. I am light. I'm a star. Great spirit is free. And then you can repeat that. It'll go out twice, and just you get the hang of it, the feeling. Don't worry. Um, and then the mantra is Om Mani Padme Hum. And there's variations on that, that are Tibetan, but I'm just going with this one because I think it's going to be easiest for us all. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, and there'll be a little tune with it. And I think that's all that you need to know. It changes, the course changes slightly from focusing on the I to focusing on the we in the hour. But I'm gonna give it my best shot. It's a
Uh,
debut. I'm still working it out because it's that new. It's just a baby that's barely out of the womb. So
Right, Esther, before you begin, can we all just rub our hands together and send Esther a lot of love and peace? We are so grateful for you.
thank
These
you.
lyrics sound amazing. Love is who I am. I'm excited to hear it, and you know that it's been channeled as well. Just beautiful. When you're ready to start,
Thank you. I got the
we're ready to
inspiration.
receive.
Just hearing you, Miriam, I could imagine you doing the message because what it's starting with the message that I heard, and then from there it goes. So here we go. You're not who you think you are. You're more than you hope to be. You are the light of the stars. Feel this truth in your belly. Love is who you are. Love is what you be. You're a light. You're a star. Set your deep love free. Here comes the chorus. Love is who I am. Love is what I be. I'm a light. I'm a star. Great Spirit is free. Love is who I am. Love is what I be. I am light. I'm a star. Great Spirit is free. So, Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 to all beings. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. My way is not right or wrong. I trust and know I belong. My pace isn't too fast or slow. I release self-judgment, go with the flow. 'Cause love is who I am, love is what I be. I am light, I'm a star, great Spirit is free. Love is who I am, love is what I be. I am light, I'm a star, great Spirit is free. And to all our friends now who are having a challenge around health or anything else in their life, and to all beings, Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. I love myself without conditions. Pay attention to my soul's premonitions. Delight in beauty and truth. Compassionate like biblical Ruth. 'Cause love is who I am, love is what I be. I'm a light, I'm a star, great Spirit is free. Love is who I am, love is what I be. I'm light, I'm a star, great Spirit is free. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Meet each dawn with joy and gladness. It's the antidote to despair and sadness. Live in love, reciting grace. Every when and where is our place? 'Cause love is who we are, love is what we be. We're light, we're stars, great Spirit is free. Love is right spirit is free. Oh, me
Oh,
feeling
Esther,
That's so fun.
so beautiful. Oh my gosh. Your message is perfect for today, for every day. Love is who I am. Love is what I be. I am light. I am a star. My great spirit is free. I absolutely love, love, love it. Carol, what are your thoughts?
Good, Carol.
Carol, you're muted.
Didn't want to work. Oh, it's beautiful, Esther. I just love it. It's such a joy for your sharing and your enthusiasm. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You've blessed our hearts and our souls, and it's just fantastic. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Thank you. You all have blessed my heart and my soul so tremendously. I'm so appreciative of you. The dear friends I've met, and a special shout out to Ali today, Earth Angel over there from Italy. And to you all, I can't tell you how much it means. Ah.
You
Can we
did
all
it.
rub our hands together, send Esther lots and lots of love.
And I'm opening this for the transition I'm in, where I need to, it looks like, find a new home. So I'm receiving it for that, for me to have the faith, the trust and the guidance, and to know I'm safe. And I'm extending this, if I may, I don't want to say names, but I know there are other people in this kind of situation now all across the world and in our community. So for all of us, I feel it. Thank you so much.
Esther, pat your heart 6 times and say, well done. Good job.
Well done. Good job. Well done. Good job. Thank you.
Oh, bless you.
So good.
Carol, I know that you also wanted to do some special shout outs for a few of our friends who are not very well at the moment.
Yes, I did. So much power in this group, and our dear friend Esther Wallowitz is having some health challenges. If we could send her extra love, and I know we just had a message from Barbara that she needs a little extra love. Judy Lamar is someone else, and Maria Asane. There's just a few that I know of. Anybody else, you're welcome to add to the list. But if we could put our hands together and rub them really warmly and send peace, light, and love to our community.
Okay.
Thank you.
Just so wonderful to have all of you here connecting and joining us. The reason for this group, the reason for this call is because we want this to be a space where you feel loved, so you don't feel alone, so you feel supported. And that's what the Asia Pacific call was for me, led by Carol Ray. And so this European call, that's my hope, is that this is a place where you can come and feel that too, and share from your heart. It's a safe space. And yeah, I want it to be a space of love for you to feel comfortable in. So what we've got next is I'm going to ask Carol, can you lead us through the Marmas if you're ready? And then after the Marmas, Kuber, we would love your breath work.
So excited to see Kabir here today. It's like old home week. It's so fabulous. So it's just going to do kind of our most basic set of Marmas, because I just don't think we can get enough of them if they just become part of us in routine if we do them enough. So the ones on our ears, and I'd love volunteers who can do them in different languages. I'm going to pick on Jaina for starters, if you can do the ears in language of your choice.
Thank you. Cornelia will probably correct me, but I'll do German. Eins, zwei, drei, vier, fünf, sechs.
Excellent. And then we're going to do the Naram head squeeze, which is for presence and calming our mind. Kuber, can I ask you to do this one, please?
Sure. एक, दो, तीन, चार, पाँच, छः.
Excellent. We're going to turn and do it the other way. Miriam, can you do this one?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Excellent. And then the Dr. Giovanni style focus, Marma. Janet. Hand behind your head. Gonna blow the finger out and then inhale to bring it back. Janet?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Thank you, Janet. And then any other volunteers for the to be present, the Marma here? Anybody? Okay, Anna, go ahead.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Excellent. It's so much like Spanish, huh? Beautiful. And then this one is special today, the kidney Marma, and it's from your left hand straight down from your ring finger and across from where your thumb comes in. So it's kind of the intersection between your ring finger and your thumb. And we're going to just press this deeply 6 times for your kidney Marma. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then the last one is the memory Marma at the base of the thumb on the left hand, right in that area. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thank you.
Okay, Kuber. You're ready for your
Alright.
wonderful breath work.
Sure. Well, namaste, everyone. Some of the breath work that I've been sharing, the main intent is to just bring from that head to the heart. And I often think of doing more deeper yogic breath work, but sometimes it needs to come with precautions. It needs to come with a lot of, like you can't do it on a full stomach. And I wasn't sure the time that it's, have people had their dinners and all. So I just try and keep it very simple and nothing too complicated. All right. So here's another one, which, we've done a couple, and here's this one, which I think everyone, if you practice this about 10 minutes a day, it'll start to deliver a lot of benefit. Okay, so let's do this together. So just first sit up straight. Your spine needs to be straight. That's probably the main thing. Doesn't matter where you're sitting, on a chair or in a lotus pose. But once you're straight, pull those shoulders back. You can keep your eyes open or closed. Take a deep exhale. We always start with an exhale. Once that breath is out, just close your right nostril and breathe through the left. Make it slow and fluid. Once you've filled up your lungs all the way into the belly, close that left nostril and breathe out slowly and gently through the right nostril. Now breathe in through the right nostril. Close the right nostril, breathe out through the left. Again, inhale through the left. Close the left, exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Close the right, exhale left. Inhale left. Close the left, exhale right. Inhale right. Close the right, exhale left. Inhale left. Close the left, exhale right. Inhale right. Close the right, exhale left. Two more, inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Close the right, exhale left. And just bring your hand down, keep your eyes closed. And just observe that breath as you breathe normally. And then gently open your eyes and be ready for whatever you're ready to receive.
Oh,
So this is a really nice, simple one. It's no contraindications with this. Anyone can do it. Any time is good. Whenever you feel you need to relax. This is the alternate nostril breathing. When we do it with a pause at the end, as well as in between the inhale and the exhale, that's when it becomes what we call Nadi Shodhan. But that gets, holding the breath can also mean people with heart conditions shouldn't do it. And so keeping it simple.
Kuber, it was just perfect. I was feeling quite nervous about the call today, but that breath work was really perfect and just beautiful. Can we all rub our hands and just send Kuber lots and lots of love? We've got so many people joining from all around the world today. Please put in the chat where you're joining from. And Jaina, do you have anything you want to share?
Yeah, I just wanted to say what a master, Kuber. It's been really hard to ground today, and that exercise really helped ground me. So thank you. I also saw in the chat, Andrea was talking about her left nostril being blocked. And I had been having that problem the last couple of weeks. And I had, so what would you recommend for that? What would you recommend, Cooper?
Generally what I do in the morning, after brushing my teeth, I do a few rounds of very fast alternate nostril breathing. So it looks like it helps just cleanse. But also just for everyone, just observe, just close your right nostril and just breathe through your left. And now close your left nostril and only breathe through your right. Do you notice any difference in the flow or the quality of the flow of the breath through each nostril? I hope you do. It's rare where it's even. Generally, after an alternate nostril breathing, what we just did, it should become even, but it takes a bit of time. But every 90 minutes, this switches. So there will be one dominant. So if you find that it's if it's just normal that your left is feeling a bit blocked or not as free flowing as the right, that's very normal. That's how our body actually controls temperature. So when the right is more dominant, that's your solar energy. And so that's the time when the body is heating. That's the time you should be eating food because it'll digest better. So any hard work you need to do, go to the gym, just make sure that your right nostril is active. You'll get far more benefit. When it's time to go to sleep or you want to meditate or you want to relax, it's time to actually have your left nostril more dominant. Now, if you're sitting at work and you're feeling, even at your dining table and you go, but it's not my, the right nostril is not active and it's time for dinner, what do I do? Well, sometimes if you have a high enough chair, you can actually just have this, like if you block this, right, under the arm, it'll actually start to activate the other nostril. Or if you're lying down, if you lie down on your right side, your left nostril will start becoming active. And vice versa. So just a few tips and tricks there.
I have a question. When I was about to freeze to death last year during the Snowmageddon, when we had no power and no water, I was doing the breath work for heating the body. And then I know there's also correlation to cooling the body. Could you just refresh that? Because it could literally save someone's life.
Yeah. Look, if you immediately need to do it, where you need to warm up the body, the main technique is where you close the left, inhale through the right, and then close the right and exhale through the left. And so if you keep doing inhale right, exhale left, it'll warm up the body. And if you needed to do it like in a hurry, just breathe through the right and you'll start to feel that body temperature elevate. And exactly the opposite, when you want that lunar channel to become active, you just breathe through the left and that'll make it active. Now, both of these should never be done together. Okay, so if you're using your lunar channel to cool down the body, straight after that, don't practice, but I need to now warm it out. Yeah, we don't want to muck around with that
Thank you
natural
so much.
cycle.
Thank you. Namaskar.
Most welcome, my pleasure.
I'm so happy that you could join us today. And I'm sure that everybody has felt blessed by your presence and what you've shared today. So thank you so much, Kuber.
My pleasure.
So
My pleasure. But I won't be here for the whole session. So
it's pretty late there. What time is it there, Kuber?
Oh, it's 5:30 in the morning.
Oh, okay.
This is mine. Yes, I normally get up around 4:30, So it was nice and convenient for me to join in. But this is also my time for yoga and meditation. So
thank you so much for joining us. You're amazing. We're so lucky
love
to have
you all.
Ah.
Take care, everyone. See you.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, so we have so many different friends joining from around the world. We've got Cornelia from the Bahamas. We've got Monera from Germany. We've got Andrea Wood from England. We've got Rama Rishi from Grass Valley, California. I'm so sorry I'm pronouncing your name wrong. I know that I've heard you speak before and you share amazing things about siddhas and your experiences in India. Can you please help me to pronounce your name?
It's Roma Rishi.
Rama Rishi, welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a real pleasure to be here.
Thank you for joining us. Do you have anything you'd like to share from your heart? Anything you're feeling right now?
I'm feeling tremendous love for the worldwide community. I really wanted to start attending this Zoom call that you're doing. I'm very happy that you're doing it. And I love the Sunday calls. My wife and I are always on the Sunday call, but it's a real pleasure to now have another opportunity to spend time with the European community. And we feel tremendous support for all of you. It's such a wonderful thing that we have this family based on love. You know, the Beatles sang, "All you need is love. Love is all you need." And there are many times I think, wouldn't this world be a better place if there was more love? And that's exactly what's happening with the ancient secrets of a master healer and what Clint is doing and what all the volunteers are doing around the world. We're creating a tsunami of love, and it's going to really improve the world and help humanity. So thank you for all that you're doing.
Oh my gosh, I love how you phrase that, tsunami of love. Yeah, I think that's the intention here. And I've just noticed that when we all connect and come together, it's like you're saying, it's like this vibration spreads and grows and gets even bigger. Like just doing the breath work together as a collective feels so powerful, and the Marmas together feel so powerful. And that's what I noticed when I was joining the Asia Pacific call back when I was in Vietnam. And I thought, I need to be doing this weekly, you know, coming together as a group, because there's something different when it's all of us together. And the more that joins, you know, that's my dream. The more of us join together, the more we can spread it. So yeah, I'm really happy that you could join us today. Okay, so friends, I'm going to read a little bit of the summary of chapter 2. I'm not going to do too much of it because I want this to be a little bit more interactive, and I want you to be able to, I want to hear your voices. I don't want to really hear my own. I'm not much of a public speaker. So I'm going to do a little bit of chapter 2 summary, and then I'm going to invite whoever would like to share when I ask them the questions from the book. So I'm just going to share my screen. Jana, can you see the screen all right?
Yes, it's beautiful.
Okay, here we go. Okay, so I'm doing it live. Normally on the Sunday calls, it's recorded. So here goes. Namaskar, my dear friends that are joining today. The divinity, that spark of light to me, bows down to the divinity, that beautiful spark of light in you. And I honor that place where you and I are one. So chapter 2, let's dive into the ancient secrets of a master healer. This chapter is about mental health. And Baba Ram Das, the master of Dr. Naram, said, every adversity, every difficult situation or heartbreak has within it the seeds of equal or greater benefit. So as we begin to look at this chapter together, I invite you to reflect on this question. When was a time in your life where you saw a hidden benefit come from a challenge you have faced? Okay, so here are some of the highlights of this chapter. We learn of a Marma Shakti point, a subtle energy point, and a home remedy to help calm the mind, rebalance perspective, and stimulate positive emotions. And there's the picture here. We hear the story of how Dr. Naram helped a daughter suffering from severe depression. There's also a story of how Dr. Naram helped somebody whose husband was very suicidal. And we also see some pictures of Dr. Naram doing pulse healing for Mother Teresa, Dalai Lama, and the Royal Bengal tiger. Okay, so this chapter is called, if I can just move this picture out of the way, right, it's called 95% of people don't know this important thing about themselves, and it takes place in Los Angeles, California. So Dr. Clint says, I was volunteering for an organization called Wisdom of the World. The project was to spread inspirational messages to help decrease depression and suicide. We created a series of interviews with famous people that we could promote each day of the event. Gail Kingsbury was an efficient event organizer. Our project touched her heart. And this is what she said to Dr. Clint when she met him. I'm feeling into the goal of your project and sensing that most of the people on your list aren't really who you want. Lots are not what they seem to be, and they might not match your message, she said. You know who I would suggest? You should really interview Dr. Naram. He is a master healer from India, whose patients include people like Mother Teresa and the Dalai Lama. And today he has a clinic at this same hotel. And as she said those words, amazingly, he was behind Dr. Clint. And she said, amazing, here he is. And so Dr. Clint and Dr. Naram met, and Dr. Clint said to Dr. Naram, what do you think can help people who struggle with loneliness, depression, and even suicidal thoughts during the holidays? And Dr. Naram said, very good question. I have seen depression and suicide impact very famous people, famous beloved stars, and those who are unknown, both poor and super wealthy. I've known atheists and even spiritual leaders with millions of followers who commit suicide. Anyone is at risk to lose someone they love this way. The most important thing is to understand them, not judge them. Some kids attempt suicide just to get the attention of their parents, begging them to understand their pain and frustration. Once the parent understands, things can get better. Those struggling with depression face a big challenge. Most people don't know what it's like to be so depressed that you want to kill yourself. What makes it so someone wants to hurt themselves? And this is what Dr. Naram says. Some reasons include not being able to face fears, frustration, heartbreak, guilt, anger, loneliness, or financial problems. Each of these can almost paralyze the brain. One of the most powerful challenges on this planet is the fear of rejection. Dr. Naram says, my master taught me that God resides in each of us. So you are a temple. Once a boy or girl, woman or man, feels rejection and heartbreak from a parent or a love partner, their mind may spin into rejection. And you can imagine what a homosexual boy or girl in some countries must feel if they face rejection by their society or even by God. It is actually impossible for God to reject them because God is in them and God is love. But that is how they can feel, rejected by everyone, and it hurts. My master taught me every adversity, every difficult situation or heartbreak has within it the seeds of equal or greater benefit. But first, all of us need to discover, who am I? In life, most of our challenges come when there is a block or an imbalance or both. So I just want us to think back about that quote. Every adversity, every difficult situation or heartbreak has within it the seeds of equal or greater benefit. And I invite you with so much love just to think about which difficult situation or challenge has brought you equal or greater benefit. And as you're thinking about that, I invite you to start writing in the chat, and I might call on a few of you later to see if you're willing to share. And I'm just going to share just two more slides, I believe. Dr. Naram says, once you know who you are, what your blocks and imbalances are, then you can know what food is your medicine. We need to pay more attention, not only to the food we are feeding our mind with, and the attitudes we feed our emotions. Ancient Secrets provides guidance on each. The most important thing to know for anyone is who you are, where you are going, and what can help you get there. And I just wanted to also share this quote. In India, we have a concept for when an unexpected guest comes to visit your home. It is called Atiti Devo Bhava, which means you treat any guest, whoever it is, and as inconvenient as their visit may be, as if God himself has come to visit your home. In my healing lineage of Siddha Veda, we take this very much to heart. I know some of you have done the miracle experiment experience, and during that, we were all invited to practice Aditi Deva Bhava. And what I love, when I first did that experience, I remember, I'm trying to think, was it Rajani or I think it was Rajani. Rajani was my group leader. And she said to me that it could be a person, it could be an animal, but it can also be an emotion. It can be a challenging situation. And that, for me, was such a huge shift in my life, because I don't think I was sending challenging situations love. And since joining this community, it's all of you that actually helped me remember to do it. Every time I connect with somebody from the community, or I take part in the MEE, Miracle Experiment Experience, I remember to practice that. So I just wanted to share that quote, because some of you might also want to share where you've practiced Aditi Deva Bhava. So I'm going to come back to that question again. Which difficult situation or challenge has brought you equal or greater benefit? And I wondered if there's anyone, I'm going to actually stop sharing my screen for a minute. If there's anybody who would like to share, if anyone's wrote anything, I might just scroll down. Cornelia says, my greatest challenge was living in pain for 8 years, but this experience has guided me to where I am today and the compassion that I am able to feel since then. Cornelia, would you like to share a little bit more with us?
Yes. Yeah, it was for me definitely one of the greatest challenges, being in pain, having a family with 3 children, 2 of them very small, and not being able to do anything for 8 years. And while I was still in it, it was really a very difficult situation for me to be in there and to acknowledge that being part of the Western medicine, being told all the time that's the way it's going to be for the rest of your life, which in a sense I never believed, but I was always looking for something outside of me to heal me, and any modality that I could find, and I tried it, and I was focusing so much on the pain and getting away from it that of course, if I had had the tools that I have today, asking the right question, what do I want, then I would have answered that question in a completely different way and not being stuck with the pain. But this experience being there for so long has actually, first of all, when people are talking now about being in pain, I know exactly how it feels like, and I know what it means to not having hope for so long, because you are told that there is no hope, and it's just the way it is. And I can feel for them because I have experienced that. But looking back over these 8 years, it has put me in contact with people that have shown me the way to overcome a lot of these kind of challenges that I'm still in contact with and extremely grateful for. And that particularly two people that I can think of, their name Debbie and Carlos Rosas, because they were the ones that invented the dance method that I actually attended a workshop, and I had a spontaneous remission there. And because I was not focusing on the pain, I was actually focusing on the joy of movement. And just this switch in my brain got me out of the pain. And it is so much in line with Dr. Naram would have said. You focus on what you want, in this case, the joy of movement. And that is what Carlos Rosas told me. Focus on just having fun while you're moving your body. And that is what got me out of the pain. But looking back at these 8 years, they taught me so much about myself, body awareness, how to listen to my body, and everything that I have done since 1998, which is when I had my spontaneous remission, is based on that body awareness that I gained during the time when I was in so much pain. So I can see the benefit of what has happened to me. And in a sense, I often say, if it hadn't been for that, I wouldn't be where I am today.
Oh, Cornelia, thank you for sharing that. You know, whenever you share and speak, there is like so much compassion. And hearing your story, I understand more why you have that compassion and genuine love and care for people. I'm so grateful to know you. I have no words right now. I love you. I love you. Does anyone else want to like say anything to that?
I really want to comment on Cornelia's share, because, you know, when we're going through some times, it is difficult to change your focus off of that. And that's what she was just saying. That is like a huge key right there. To focus on the moment that she was in the dance. And when she was in the moment of the dance, that's where the remission happened. I've struggled with grounding the last few weeks, couple of weeks. I've been struggling with focusing my mind off of some changes that bring a lot of uncertainty. What a lot of us feel uncertainty at this time. And it's difficult to take my focus off of the worst case scenario and to focus on the best case scenario. And that's exactly what Cornelia is saying. But that's the Aditi Devo Bhava. So when she was saying that, it just filled my heart, because, I mean, she knows, sometimes it's been really hard for me to interact in the group recently. I haven't been in that state of love, and I need to be. But it's beautiful. Cornelia, thank you for that. So appreciate you.
Yeah, I would just want to add to that as well, what you are just saying. This experience that I had and this understanding that I gained through reading the book and understanding this principle of Aditi Devo Bhava, when something happens to me now or somewhere around it, it's always my question now, what is the benefit of this situation? I'm not looking for the circumstances itself or themselves. It's really, the focus is immediately now that I ask myself, what is the good in that? How can I benefit from it? What is my lesson that I can take on? And when I had this aha moment about 1.5 years ago during one of the miracle experiment experiences, that really changed my life totally, because this realization that it is constantly my attitude that is actually producing then the outcome of how I move on, how I feel, my emotions are then guided by that, how I decide how I think about that. And this Aditi Devo Baba, okay, it's the best that can happen. Life is happening for me and not to me. And just this distinction of these two words is such a big shift in awareness that if you really get that, and I did last year, it really changed my life, because from that moment on, I just never get aggravated or negative about anything, because I have always this concept in my mind: how does it serve me? I just need to find it.
Sorry, friends, I'm a bit emotional by all the sharing, so excuse me if I'm a bit choked, but I'm just very moved, and I feel very blessed to hear your messages, because actually, you know how sometimes when people speak, it's like they're speaking to you, like the right message you need to hear, which I notice happens a lot with this community. I feel like all the messages that are being shared, I just needed to hear. And I hope that feels the same for everybody that's joining, that there is something here that is touching your heart, that is opening your heart, that's making you feel supported and guided, lifted. So I've just read, I know there's a few comments in here, and I'm going to see if anyone else wants to share their story. Cece, would you like to share with everybody a little bit about what you've been through and the greater benefit that you've experienced?
You know, it's amazing how the DT Deva Bauer comes, especially when you don't know it, especially when you don't recognize it. It comes, and in all shapes and colors and form. I guess I grew up in an environment where you don't take nonsense, a man shouldn't give you nonsense type of thing. And ironically, you end up there. And because of that, you deal with it the way you know best, which in my case just took me from one beating to another beating, because I wasn't dealing with it as I should have. Yeah, over a long period of time, and just really packing my bags and say, okay, I'm out of here, would come and go, type of thing. But through all that, what I'm truly, truly grateful for was the persistent in believing that there has to be a way that works, and that would leave me without bitterness. It's something that I went through, of course, and hate and all that, and it just made me so sick instead. But slowly, as things started making sense to me, I say, I can continue this way and get sick and literally kill myself. What else is there? And I think just coming back to my senses and trying to find a way of getting through all this, but also looking after myself, getting better, I ended up here. And I cannot be grateful enough, because the tools that I have learned since then, and I've been here since 2020 April, they have taught me how to forgive. They've taught me how to love. They've taught me so many things. And as I started working within myself to deal with the situation differently, I also realized the change that took place around me. Him, for example, changing. I was sharing a couple of weeks ago with another group that, when I started with Moonbeam, for example, when I start cooking it, he would leave the house because he said, this stuff stinks, I can't stand it. And probably 18 months later, he started slowly wanting to know, how does this taste? And now he eats it, well. And because I have changed myself, he has changed as well. So, you know, I am so grateful to be here. The love, learning from one another, directly or indirectly. Yeah, I'm just blessed to be here, to be alive, even because I was even given months. You don't have more than 7 months. You know, you have a tumor here, you have that, and all that is gone away. So I'm so grateful for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you all.
Oh, can we just rub our hands for Cece and just
Love you, Cece.
love you, love you. Oh,
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I don't even think that I can even comprehend what you've been through, what's actually behind the words you just communicated. So much. I can't imagine the ups and downs and overs and throughs that you've been through. I'm so grateful that you are in this community.
No,
Thank you so much, Cece.
thank you, Jenna. Thank you.
You know, what's coming to my mind is how many times have we used the principles and it's gotten us through a hard time and it's been wonderful. And then another hard time comes up and we're like, oh my gosh. And it's easy to forget. I was on the phone with somebody today, beautiful girl. I talked with her yesterday and she talked with me today. And we just reminded each other of who we are and what we have to offer. And when that mind, that compromising mind gets in our way, we just need to reach out and say, hey, I need help. You know, can you remind me? And that's what Cornelia's story did for me in that moment. You know, it just shifted, you know, just that moment of, it's that remember the moment and the joy that you have when you're in the dance. It's so awesome. We can just take all of that pressure off of all of that big, huge thing that we're focusing on and just focus on the joy of the dance. And it can be this little. We can focus 100% on that little. And it brings so much enlightenment to our world. It's beautiful. So thank you. Just unmute. If you guys want to share, just unmute and join in.
Thank you,
no,
Dana.
no, yes, Janet.
Your call the other day was just fabulous. It helped me so much. And today our little talk just really solidified where we were, you know, centered ourselves and just, I was just so grateful. So I am so grateful for you, Jana. My life has not been easy as well. I've been through a lot, including rape and an abusive marriage for 14 years and a life-changing injury that resulted in a non-union of my hip. So I was in healthcare for 17 years. And this group has done so much for me. And everything, it seems like everything has been divine. Like all of this has, all of what I dealt with, everything I dealt with has led me to this point and to this feeling of self-love that I never had before. I just started loving myself truthfully in the last couple of years. And it's just to be able to be with myself and be happy with myself is the biggest gift, because we're our best friends. You know, we're with each other all of the time, 24/7, whether we like it or not. So I'm just so grateful to have gotten to this place.
Yeah.
And thank you for all of you that have helped me along this path.
Can we just send Janet lots and lots of love? Everybody that's shared, can we just share, just send them all love?
You know, when Janet called me the other day, you know, and when I called her today, we just, it was like there was a little kink in the way that our brain was functioning. It wasn't firing in that place of love. It was firing, it was kinked, and it wasn't getting the proper reception. And we just needed somebody to hold us there. And so we held each other. I helped her and held her yesterday. And today I called her and she held me and said a prayer, and it unkinked it. You know, it's just so they can be firing again. And that's why we joined this group. You know, it was cute. I've talked with several people and they're like, oh yeah, I've been on the phone with so-and-so in the community. It's like, yes, we're supporting and helping each other. We need that. Romarishi, you were going to say something.
Yes. One time, Tara and I were living in India, and we had already given 600 free seminars around America on the Siddha saints. And now we were in India, and we only had $20 to our name, total life assets, no savings account. We didn't even have a credit card. We only had $20 in cash. And we decided that we were going to do a world tour, not an American tour, a world tour. We were going to go all the way around the world, teaching people about the lives of great Siddha saints. And we looked at each other like this. Are we crazy? Are we insane to think that we can go all the way around the world with only $20 in our pocket? It's a long story, and I'm not going to tell you the whole story now because it takes about an hour. But we decided that all that we had to do was trust and surrender. Trust and surrender. And so we decided to go for it. We decided to start the tour. And there was a conference in Malaysia on Siddha science. And they invited us to come give a presentation at that conference. 3,000 people were there. It was a big conference. And we decided we'll go do that. And then we will teach in Malaysia for a whole month, and we'll teach in Singapore, and then we'll go to Hong Kong. And our idea was that if we teach and give from our heart to help people, that they will make voluntary donations. We weren't going to charge anything. It was going to be free, but we trusted that if we gave from our heart what could help people, that they would respond and give us voluntary donations. And that would be the way that we got to the next city. And we would do that all the way around the world. Well, to make a long story short, every single place we went in Malaysia, Singapore, Hong Kong, even Shanghai and Taiwan, every place we went, everyone helped us. They rented apartments for us. One man in Hong Kong put us up in a luxury hotel and gave us $1,000 spending money and bought our airplane tickets to Beijing. And that's how the whole tour went. The love that came back to us from all these people who we didn't know. They were Facebook friends, but we had never met any of these people. The outpouring of love that came back to us was immeasurable. And we completed the tour of Southeast Asia and then went to America. So all it took was love and surrender and wanting to help people to the best that we possibly could. And it was one of the most wonderful experiences of our life. But in the beginning, we thought, how can we do this? We have no money. Our visa is about to expire in a week. We felt that we didn't have the means to do what we wanted, but we remembered trust and surrender.
That's going to be my mantra. Trust and surrender. Trust and surrender. Trust and surrender.
It definitely works.
That's going to
Awesome.
be my mantra as well. That was exactly, again, another message that I needed to hear, because at the moment, I'm not working, and I'm literally in a space where I need to trust and surrender. Just perfect. This call is just like, so divine. I wanted to ask, is there anybody here that's new to the call, new to the community, or just hasn't been on the European call before? Because I want to make sure that I acknowledge everybody. Like, there is somebody here called Goddess Fatima, and I don't think I know you. So I'm going to say welcome. But is there anyone here that's new? I just want to make sure we say hello to everybody. In fact, I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to go make sure I said, I think I just want to go around and just send love to everybody. So I'm going to send love to Mary Campagna. Welcome. You've had this beautiful smile throughout the whole call. Just welcome, and just sending you so much love. If you want, you can unmute and you can say hello to everybody if you'd want to.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
This is my first time. I'm from Charlotte. I just got the book and I'm almost done. I read it in like a day and a half, at nighttime, and it's amazing. And this is just beautiful. I'm so happy to be here. I love this. So thank you for sharing. Wow, just beautiful, everybody. Thank you. Nice.
Oh, welcome.
Welcome.
Okay, I'm going to also say hello to Andrea Wood. Hello. Also from England, right?
I am, yes. Thank you, Marianne. Lovely to be here. Hello, everybody. Really, really appreciate this call. It's my second one. I think I joined last Friday. Yeah, I've got so much going on in my life at the moment, and it's a really difficult place to ground, like Jane has said. When you don't have a home, you feel like the rug's being pulled from under your feet, and you've got no try and make sure that you have a roof over your head, and then to try and work out what the Aditi Deva Bhava is. And this week it's 2 dogs. I've actually managed to get a roof over my head by house and pet sitting. Sadly, my family didn't support me, and that's another story. We won't go there. I'm forgiving and trying to get over that. So I'm house sitting and I'm looking after these 2 little dogs, 2 little gods I've started to call them, because they are such a challenge. They've sort of taken me out of my own self, and I've really had to get down to their level of mindfulness, presence, and living in the moment. And that's what they're teaching me this week. Getting up at 5:30 is a real challenge for me. And not to be cross and not to lose my patience with them has been a proper challenge, because at 5:30 I'm probably not the best person to live with. But like we know, every challenge comes with a lesson, and I think it's total, complete humility and surrender that I'm being taught right now. So I'm so grateful to this community, because the support means so much, because otherwise I just feel like I'm totally alone right now. Sorry, I'm gonna get all emotional. And yeah, I'm just really, really grateful to everybody for being here. Thank you.
Andrea, Thank you for joining us today and for sharing from your heart. Firstly, we all just need to send you so much love. I'm so glad that you joined us today. For me, you are like one of the reasons why this community is so needed and why this call is happening. I'm so glad that you joined us. And if you ever need someone to reach out to during the week, you can find me on Facebook. I'll find you. I think you're in the European European WhatsApp group. I'll find you as well. And just, you know, we're all here to support each other, and you're doing all the right things, all the right things.
Thank you, Marianne. Thank you, everybody. I love you all.
Dana, did you want to add anything there?
I just, I have felt this connection with Andrea, and we kind of acknowledged it this week. I don't know what it is, but there's just a connection. And I just want to let you know, anytime you feel alone, you know, reach out. It's interesting that you use those words, because I was on the phone with my mom, and I said to her, you know, when it comes down to it, we're just by ourselves. And after I hung up, I thought, no, that's not true. And that's when I called Janet and said, you know, something's not right. And that's just it. You know, I think every single one of us has had some instability with our home or with our job the last 2 years. And I mean, it's the base of who we are. We have to have that stability. And when it's shaken, it's a challenge. But I loved what Romarishi said, is to trust and surrender. When I first started working with the Ancient Secrets, I had lost my job. And I trusted and surrendered. I did the what do you want, Marma? And I did the letting go, Marma. And I did the confidence, Marma, the 7 fingers down. And I just kept doing those again and again and again. And what it did is it reset me into what I knew that I needed, the direction that I wanted to go. And it's interesting how, you know, we get in our everyday lives and we push through. We just think, okay, I just got to get this done, and it will work out. And the thing is it doesn't. That's where we need to stop. That's where I needed to stop and just take a breath and bring it back to the moment. Focus on what I want, and then I'm going to surrender, like Romarishi just said. You know, just surrender and trust. So. And that goes for anybody. If anybody needs support, you know, always feel free to reach out. Always feel free. They, you know what, most of the time, they probably need your support too. Esther.
This call is
But may I
amazing.
ask a question? Hi, everyone. Namaste. What if you don't know how to surrender? What are the steps for surrendering?
Yes, good question. Just a second, Esther. So, Andrea, what I do is I locate it. So where is the pressure? Where is the tension? Where is the frustration? And I locate it. And then I kind of gather it together, you know, whether, you know, kind of bring it all in together. And then I move it out in front of me. And I imagine it floating to God or to the light or to whatever. But I have to locate it first, you know, and actually I don't, you know, it's really an intention, you know, if you can't locate it, just be aware of it with the intention of surrender, because sometimes they're different. Sometimes they're heavy, sometimes they're light, sometimes they're invisible. Sometimes they're in a critical mind area. You know, they have different faces and different forms. And so sometimes they're more difficult to work with, or they're a challenge to work with, and sometimes they're not. But if I have the intention completely of surrender, then it seems to work. Romarishi, would you agree with that? Or what was your process?
Yeah, my process is I always just kind of say, let thy will be done. Let thy will be done. For instance, when we came back and we wanted to teach around this country, we didn't have a car because we had sold our cars before we went to India. We didn't have money. We had $80 to our name. And we wanted to teach people all around this country about the Siddhas. And our friends said to us, how are you going to do that? You don't have a car and you don't have any money. I said, oh no, we have $80. They laughed. They laughed. They said, $80, you're not in India anymore. It's going to be gone in 2 days. And they said, what are you going to charge for these seminars you're going to give? And I said, oh, we aren't going to charge anything. They're going to be free. And they went, free? You're crazy. And my thought process was, if God wants this to happen, and if you don't think in terms of God, you could think in terms of if the universe wants this to happen, or the Tao, if the Tao wants this to happen, or the Great Spirit wants this to happen, it's going to happen. If the Great Spirit doesn't want it to happen, but we want it to happen, it's not going to happen. So I just surrender to God's will. I say, let thy will be done. And it may happen in a way that I didn't envision or I didn't want to have happen. As it turned out, it was highly successful, and we ended up giving 600 free seminars. But it was through the process of saying, whatever you want, God, let it happen. I surrender to your will, not my will.
That's awesome. So Andrea, did that answer your question? From two different perspectives. And I'm sure you could probably have more perspectives because they all work. It's what works best for you. Did that answer your question? Oh, I think she's frozen.
No, she's moving.
Oh yeah. Thank you very much, because I wasn't sure how to go about it.
Also, what, if worse comes to worse, I always come back to this Marma. And if I don't know what to do, I come back to this Marma all the time. And what do I want? I want to surrender. I don't know how. What do I want? I want to feel secure. The other day I was sitting here and I just said, God, I just want to feel love. And I just tune into that. So this is a powerful, powerful tool. And just a second, let me get Esther and then we'll get you, Ann. Esther.
Okay, I can't resist. And I want to thank Andrea Wood so much for you gave words to what I've definitely felt so many times in the last couple of weeks. And there's it, and Jaina, I know there, some of us have appeared because that's been our truth, that we've been in this extraordinary vibration of truth and love. And the situation of feeling the rug pulled out with the house thing, and it just brought probably what I realized the gift is, maybe what if it is the last vestiges of all those fears, of all those disconnects from the truth of that I am, that we are, that divine. What if this is the last of all the surrender we've done through our lives? I'm just getting this because I woke up this morning with the word surrender, and I realized that was the crux of, that was primary answer. But along to that path, feeling what those feelings are, because I know that more compassion is also engendered from that, because it's not just being in that place of love and joy, but also have the heart so open for the understanding that Dr. Naram talks about, that it's love. But sometimes that enables us to bridge. Yes, I've been there. I know that. It's not just that I've been there. I can relate to where you are, and I love and respect you without judgment. And though the medicine that everybody has given in this call for how we don't stay there, but how we do return to the truth. And I just have to share, when the love and surrender, I go, I know that phrase. I just have to read this. This is called Gaia Loves You. And this came to me in February 28th, 1995. And this is another one I've hardly ever sung out, but I'm not going to sing it. I'm just going to say it. Time to awaken, time to be shaken, earth quaking, giving birth to new loving dreams. Gaia loves you, wants you to know, and this is for all of us. Gaia loves you, wants you to grow. Gaia loves you, wants you to be. Gaia loves you, wants you to see. Gaia loves you, wants you to hear. Won't you listen through her ears? Gaia is Mother Earth, which are yours if only you choose. She is within you. How can you lose unless you deny, uphold the lie of separation and fear? Earth is awakening. How about you? Come on through the portal that has no doors. All you need is to listen and pause. Love and surrender. We do the rest. Allow us to guide you. Sit back and be blessed. You doubt what is easy, think life is so hard. Remember, you come from the stars. Now is the time to give up the false. Look at fear as the last waltz. Come to your senses, give up the fight. You'll be given a new second sight. Return to your center, rest in the eye. All of the storm is soon to go by. When it's over, you will see the rebirth of great community. Know you're a miracle. Know you're complete in this new life. You don't have to compete. If you choose, you will be guided. Tune in every day. Trust in Gaia. She'll support you on your way. Gladly, she'll feed you, nurture you with beauty, wash you in her rain. She thanks you for listening, invites you to be free. Listen to her spirit through the ears of your soul. This is how you will know you are whole. And then it ends, whole, holy, holy, complete, safe and sound. I get so emotional, I can't say, oh, holy, holy, the holographic sound. Holy, holy, we're complete, safe and sound. Oh, holy, holy, a holograph that's found. That's our, everything on this call has been extraordinary medicine for whatever upheaval and tsunami. It's like, you know, I reached out to Ramarishi. I got to hear one of those presentations way back in the day when we first met. But to remember when that we can feel like a tsunami of fear, and these are the antidotes that make that tsunami of fear just, you know, recede, like the tide recedes, and we replace it with Ramarishi's wisdom of a tsunami of well-being. And through what you've all given us, Carol and Jana and Miriam and the breathing, everybody, we do have the tools. We are blessed. Thank you for I had to say, I had to come in. I just
Esther, you rock.
And you roll, and we rock and roll together, this community.
Esther Francis, may I ask, what is the name of this song?
It's Gaia Loves You.
Oh my God, Esther, you got to put that with music.
Well, it is with music. It wasn't, you know, I didn't want to take that time. It has a tune with it. Yes, it does.
You have to.
I'll find a way.
Esther, please sing it for a Sunday call.
Okay.
I will love it. We'd all love it.
All right. Thank you. I will take up that. If I'm invited to do that, I'll say there was a request.
Well, would you mind performing it next week at this time in this call?
I think I can do that.
Is that okay, Miriam?
If I don't have a Monday thing already down, I mean a Friday thing, but I'd love to. Yes.
Awesome.
I love you all so much.
Esther, I love your energy. I love your warmth. I love how you share from your heart. I love how you just go with the flow of what you're feeling in the moment, because it's so perfect, so divine. Sending you so much love. So much love. We're coming up to 8:30 p.m. here, and I know in other parts of Europe it's getting quite late, but I want to make sure Anne gets to share and Arati gets to share. So, but I'm going to try and 10 more minutes, friends. So I would love for, I think Anne's next to share.
Hi, thank you.
Hi.
Hello.
You want to say I love you and I'm with you now, or do you want to wait till the end? Damn, everybody else. Okay. So my friend is here putting some henna in my hair right now. It kind of fits in with what I'm going to say. Actually, it's really funny because I never did things like this for myself. Like, especially by the time these calls started, I remember looking at myself in the first Zoom call and I was like, oh my God, someone was talking about soulmate. And I was like, oh my God, look at those bags. And I was like, and everything, like, I just looked and said, oh my, I don't even think I'm going to go on a date again in my life. Look how bad I look. And it just was funny that was on the first calls. And then we learned so much about self-love and self-care. I mean, self-care, and then that oiling is love. And now when I oil myself, I love anyway, in this 2 years, watching everybody else evolve and like try things and succeed and all, I just can't even tell you how it's changed my life. And like that, I actually really love myself. Like, I didn't know what that really meant. It was always like, whatever, but now it's like, I can feel that loving myself, but I've lately gotten a new sensation. And the new sensation, I tried to do this to myself, you guys, and it didn't come out very good. And when it came out good, but she lives far away and she was like, can I do this now? And I was kind of like, well, maybe it'll work. But she even said, I see a difference in your hair already. And we've only done it maybe twice. And she said, your hair is thicker. And I'm like, I didn't care before about my hair. I could have cared less. And now, like, I care about my hair. And then some little grays were coming. So I called her right away. I'm like, hey, I think I need a little touch up. Like, if anybody who knows me will know that is hysterical. Okay. So lately I've noticed I'm laughing out loud more. And like, I get the giggles lately and try to tell somebody something and I can't get it out. Then they're all giggling. And like, I'm just changing. And it doesn't happen like this. It's very gradual. And it's as if so the new sensation I'm getting is this feeling of surrender, but it's not in a cognitive way. It's this feeling of like, if I could describe anything in therapy and osteopathy, when you treat a certain tissue called the fascia, you don't plow through it like you do the muscles. Like the muscles are like, oh, the fascia, you kind of sit and you wait for it to move under your hands. And it's called being like one hair behind the wave. If you're a boogie boarder, you know what I mean. That hair makes a difference. You're one hair ahead, whack. You're one hair behind. And like, so lately I've felt this sensation that if I sit back in my heels and in a little bit of a receptive mode, which is also something I never did before now, in receiving mode, things are coming to me that I would have had to like sweat, work, run, beg, borrow for. If I just kind of take a deep breath, take a minute to be aware of a breath, anything, be aware of my feet, some yogic, some Ayurvedic type, just the principles that we've done. Am I being a Titi Deva Bhawa in this moment or not? Am I aware of what I want? Just the principles are like little lifelines that have access, building your faith. And then you get this sensation of like, almost like you're floating. I'm just beginning to get that just lately, of allowing things to come to me. And so that's all I'm going to say, because I don't want to take up all the time, but just know that surrender thing, it's not like you flip a switch. I get it. I'm going to surrender. Pop. It doesn't work that way. It's a process, and then a sensation, and then it doesn't even come from here. So give yourself much grace.
So how many of you took the journey that she just took you on? I mean, how many of you sat back on your heels and felt that receiving come in? I mean, I did. And it really matched up well to what Romarishi was saying about the surrender and trust, but then he received. So it was actually the extra step that he just assumed, you know, that just went with it. But that's exactly, I really appreciate that step. And because I mean, you explained it beautifully, and it took me through that ride. I could feel that calmness, that it's not a calmness. it's a live, it's
It's a
almost like
sense of
trust. What is it?
It's faith and trust and all kind of mixed up, and then it just holds you. And so for a moment you're suspended and you're like, wow. And then to imagine like how the gurus live like that all the time, and Dr. Naram was like the time.
So that's the space between what Romarishi was saying to trust and surrender. It's that receive, you know, surrender and trust and receive. So it seems like those three are moving interchangeably. Anyway, it's beautiful. Thank you. Can't wait to see your hair. Alrighty.
Yeah, so I must say, I must appreciate Anne and also Esther, really great spirits and very natural. And so I can only learn from both of them. It's just explosive nature. That's wonderful. What I wanted to say is, I remember Chik Nhat, the great spirit who just passed, and he said, basically, each lotus comes out of soil. And so you must have also read that went through Facebook. Each blossom comes out of soil. And so the soil is all the trouble that we all face. And so without all that trouble, we cannot evolve to be that lotus. And so we need that medium around us to grow out of. And so we all have had our struggle. And so we can't just be shining out of nothing. So basically, what I found, what helps me when I'm really in deep trouble and stressed out and I feel like I'm not within me myself anymore, is this breath work, which I got to know last year around the springtime. And it's actually the Soma breath, which I kind of got connected with more, which Anna, who practices she's actually a teacher for it in Portugal. And it would be wonderful if she could kind of present that one time. And if it's not possible, I would recommend you all to check that out online. There are many free videos on YouTube on that, Soma breath. And otherwise, they have a Facebook group, and one can also become a member and practice it. And this practice that I've been doing, there are some breathwork exercises which help you to go so deep inside that you reach a really blissful state. And you're really like as if you're like under a drug, and you feel like, oh, I'm at God's doorstep, kind of touching God almost. And it's so liberating, and you feel so centered. I really feel like I'm within myself again. And it's like I get so full of love and energized that I feel like nothing can hurt me. You know, it's like I'm ready for everything kind of thing. And so I would just recommend that if anyone has never had an experience of that type with breath work, to really look into that. And if Anna ever has a chance to present that here, that would be also a great thing to get to know. So
Arati, thank you for your share. Just beautiful. And I love what you shared about the breath. And actually, I love how you just were speaking about Anna, because Anna and I had a meeting today, and she is going to give us a taster of the breath. And it's not I can't remember the date off the top of my head. I think it's the 18th or something of February. Anna, yeah, unmute yourself. I know, Anna, you want to share as well something, but yeah, I'll let you share a bit if you want to.
So it's about the breathwork. Yes, it's the 18th that we booked already with Mariam. And I am preparing it for the group. And today, when I was listening all that, I think, oh yes, it's really very fantastic that I do it with this group, because it's really very healing. But one thing that I would like to tell about the surrender and trust is really what I felt when I have a big challenge and I really surrender and trust. It's really like a child that has someone that knows how it is better than I. So it was like that. Oh, it was magic completely. So it's really from a diagnosis of cancer, it was fantastic. It was fantastic. It was really magic, and it turned my life. Everything changed, and that magic. It's really, my child was so happy, inner child, because it's really wow. Oh, what is happening? Because what happens when we surrender and trust? It's really, oh, yes, sure. Are you sure? Oh, I couldn't imagine. And I'm very creative and imaginative. Oh, but I could imagine that could be like that I can be here and doing what I'm doing and so on and so on. So it's really that inner child to surrender and to believe, because the inner child that has harmony, that has no problems, is really trusting and confidence and happiness and yes, and it's like that when things, it's oh yes, it's, I don't know the word in English, it's the possibility to do, which is the word in English, to be amazed, no,
Is it
like
to feel awe?
Surprise, the child, you know, like oh,
Yeah, the surprise and awe and amazed. Yes.
There are other words, but I don't know. I don't remember in English. But it's like that. It's really to trust and have confidence and surrender, but with that feeling that oh, the amazing thing that comes. It's just
Mm-mm.
Awesome. Well, you guys are living the word namaste to the T. You're honoring the divine in you and honoring the divine in each of us. It's beautiful. Thank you for honoring the principle of Aditi Devo Bhawa and even the Atmiyata. And if you don't know what that means, look it up in the book. Anyway, I want to have us send love to everybody in our community and including ourselves, and then end with saying, I love you and I'm with you. Is that okay, Miriam?
It's really good. Just very, very quickly that I just want to go through everyone's name and thank you all for coming today. So Anne, thank you so much. Mary, thank you for joining. Deirdre, thank you for joining. Elena Bluebody, I haven't connected or spoke with you before, but thank you so much for joining, and I hope you come and join us next week as well. I've seen you with your hands over your heart. I've seen how you've been holding a space of love, so thank you for joining us today. Thank you to Cece for joining. Thank you to Janet for joining. Thank you for Ramarishi for joining. Andrea Wood, thank you. Munera Jamal, always lovely to see you, dear sister. And Mary, welcome, and thank you for joining. Andrea, of course, thank you for joining. Cornelia, oh, so much love for you, Cornelia. Kaylee, thank you for joining. Jen, thank you for joining. And Goddess Fatima, thank you for joining. I think I've said everybody's name. And yeah, as Jonah said, you're Deirdre, yes, welcome. Thank you for joining, Deirdre. And let's rub our hands.
And Bodhi.
I love you and I'm with you.
I love you and I'm with you.
I love you and I'm with you.
Love you and I'm with you. Love you and I'm with you.
Love you, Roma. Love you, Elena. Love you, Cornelia.
Love you and I'm with you, Mary.
Namaste.
Love you, Andrea.
Love you and with you,
And we're
Anne.
with Jane and Cornelia and
Oh,
Sissy.
yeah, that's funny.
Oh, boy.
Mary.
I
Hi,
love you.
Mary.
I love you.